This video is dedicated to the U.S. presidential election and why Catholic voters, and we can include Protestants too, should weigh their vote very carefully in this election cycle in light of the faith given to us by Jesus Christ. Unfortunately, I think many people identify with political party first rather than as Catholic first with a C. They want to be the R or they want to be the D first when you should be the C first. You should be Catholic. And this could be said about both sides of the political aisle in the United States. There's no doubt about it. So let's weigh both of the major candidates out, and I'll explain later why we're not considering third-party candidates or write-ins. Let's weigh both of the major candidates out on the scale of the Catholic faith and give them both a fair shake. Okay? Some Catholic journalists have insisted that in certain circumstances it would be okay to vote for Hillary Clinton, or that indeed we should vote for her over Trump because Trump would certainly be a warmonger. So let's address that issue first, the issue of who's a warmonger. Let's start with Trump. Trump is maybe a warmonger. I think we can come to that conclusion, and this is why. He did say that he would kill terrorists' families. And he did finally, though, take that back. Now, I think as Catholics, we have to take that part at face value, that he really means that and that he is sorry for it. But it's not something you can forget about in light of a political election. So I think at the very least we can say maybe. Okay? Let's talk about Hillary Clinton. All right? What's the standard for this? What's the standard for being a warmonger when we're talking about the Catholic faith? Well, the Catholic faith believes in just warfare doctrine. This is scriptural, and it's been handed to us by the Catholic Church. If you are Catholic, you have to believe it. Period. No doubt about it. Okay, so Hillary Clinton, let's just talk about George Bush first, because he's the unit of measure here. George Bush's war was not just. Pope St. John Paul II told him it was not a just war. Told him it was not a just war. He went to war anyway. Guess who voted for that war? Hillary Clinton voted for that unjust war. Okay? Not only did she vote for that unjust war, and that should make her, by definition, a warmonger, she also went into Libya. That was her baby. Okay? And they went into Libya under two false pretenses. Two, not just one. So, what were those false pretenses? Well, number one, they said that Muammar Gaddafi, the president of Libya, was going to wipe out hundreds of thousands of residents of Benghazi. And it was noted at the time, though, by the Defense Intelligence Agency. The Defense Intelligence Agency said that was not true, that there was no evidence for that. That was the first false pretense. The second false pretense was that it related to NATO's mission. And NATO's mission was supposedly to protect the civilians, when in fact it was to help the rebel opposition overthrow Gaddafi's government. So, unjust war. Hillary Clinton is a warmonger. Check. Donald Trump, maybe. So as a Catholic with a C, I'm going to put aside my R. I'm going to put aside my D. As a Catholic with a C, I have to vote for Trump. I'm usually an R. So, but I don't believe personally that Trump is an R. I didn't want Trump to win. I don't want to have to vote for the guy based on what I think. But it doesn't matter what I think. It matters what Jesus thinks. So it matters what the church thinks. It matters what church teaching is. We cannot vote for Hillary on this. She is a warmonger. All right. So that doesn't necessarily mean we can't vote for Hillary. That's just one issue. So let's take the second issue, second life issue. Let's talk about abortion. Trump has been back and forth on abortion. Okay? You can't lock this guy down on a solid position. As a conservative, I don't like that. But I think it's going to hurt the Conservative Party, but I'm not worried about politics here. I'm worried about being Catholic with a C. He has brought forth Mike Pence as his vice presidential candidate. Mike Pence is extremely pro-life. In fact, he said it's going to be the goal in the Trump administration to get rid of Roe versus Wade. This is incredibly important. So who can we vote for on this? Clearly, we have to vote for Trump. Why? Because if we don't vote for Trump on this issue, if we don't give him the check mark here as a Catholic, not as a political party, but as a Catholic, then we are talking about millions of babies over the next few decades that will continue to be wiped out in genocide, because that's what it is. Why is that? Why would Hillary be any different? Well, because there are 4 Supreme Court justices up for election. And guess what? Donald Trump has told us who his Supreme Court nominees are going to be, who they're going to be, and they are pro-life. Who will Hillary put in there? Hillary believes in partial birth abortion, taking a viable baby and killing it before it comes all the way out of the uterus. Hillary is, by definition, the death candidate. She is anti-Catholic. She is anti-Christ by the Catholic definition. I'm not saying she is the Antichrist, but anybody that goes against the faith, they are Antichrist. It says this in the Scriptures. Okay, so, now, I'm not going to get into Trump's personal behavior. A lot of people do that. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about issues that matter when we're talking about murdering millions of people in war or in genocide. And Hillary is the death candidate there. Now, what about you folks that you say, well, I just can't do it. I can't stomach Trump. I can't vote for him. If you are in a swing state, even Cardinal Burke, and he didn't even mention swing state. I mentioned the swing state. If you're in a swing state, you better be very prudent about who you vote for, because we need to listen to Cardinal Burke's words in this article by LifeSite News. And the title of this article is, Not Sure How to Vote in the U.S. Election. That's the title. Okay, Burke says, all right, this is a quote. This is quote, okay? This is not something I'm making up. He says that he understands the sentiments very well of not willing to vote for somebody, that you don't like. But you have to be very prudent and know that by not voting at all, you're probably favoring one candidate or another. He said, adding that even if Catholics wrote in the name of a favored candidate, it would be unlikely for such a person to become elected. And why is that a problem? Because we need the guy to get elected that is going to put those 4 Supreme Court justices in. We have got to stop this genocide. We've got to stop this genocide. We are either going to be Catholic or we are going to be liberal. We are either going to be Catholic or we are going to be Republican. It is time to stop playing politics as Catholics. It is time to be Catholic with a C first before anything else. You cannot vote for Hillary Clinton. She is the death candidate. You can vote for Donald Trump. He's the best option we have. Even I don't like the guy. Go look at anything I wrote on Vox Populi News about anything he said. I was completely against him. This is not about personal opinions. This is about furthering life in the world. About ending unjust war and ending genocide. Hillary Clinton is not going to end any of those 2 things. If you, as a Catholic, vote for the death candidate, you had better really discern your conscience before you do that. You have to remember, you are going to stand in front of the judgment seat of Jesus Christ. And He's going to judge you on that little piece of power that you have and that you gave away as a vote for somebody. You will be judged on that. Pray and discern carefully. This is a matter of not just life and death here, but of eternal death of the soul. Weigh that out very carefully. God bless everybody. I do love you very much. I used to be liberal myself. I'm conservative now. I don't like Donald Trump. Don't like him. I'm going to vote for him because it's the Catholic thing to do. God bless.